Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Sunniva.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at our top 10 small box games.
That is correct. So these are going to be games that doesn't have a big box.
Yes.
So like Frosthaven's not going to be on the list.
No.
Or, for example, Edge of Darkness.
Not going to be on the list.
Dwellings of Eldervale.
That is perfect examples.
Yes, Oathsworn.
On what games you won't find here.
Descent.
Let's do big box games next.
Yes, the biggest
those
boxes.
Are some great games.
Top 10 games that you can't fit in a Kallax.
Too big for their own good games.
Yeah. That's another list. That's games
that is actually
has
fun. Yes.
Like way too. That's just like a ranting list.
Yeah, all of the key games have to be there. Okay.
Many games. But today we are not talking about any of those games. We're talking about games that are in a small box.
Yes.
And did you have like any other criteria than the box physically being small?
No. Sometimes I have thought like, what does the box contain?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's just like a deck of cards, it isn't that impressive that it's managed to be small, kind of.
So you're kind of going for small box games that are also like impressive.
Well, no, but if I were to choose between two, for example, to have on the list, I would go for like the thing that it has most game in it, like a what do you call it?
The ratio.
Yeah, like a tiebreaker. I've used it as a tiebreaker.
Yeah. But you're not like that's not how you made your list.
No.
Like it's not like a how much game is there in the box. For
No.
me, it's basically how the small box. I started with boxes and then like the size went smaller and smaller.
And did you have like a maximum size box?
I was thinking like in the beginning I was thinking like everything that's less than the rectangular box. And I went a bit down after that, basically.
Yes, me too.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that's enough rambling. Let's ramble on about some games. Do you want to begin with your number 10?
Yes, my number 10 is a fairly new game. We picked it up at Spiel last year, 2022. It's Sea Salt and Paper.
Okay.
And it's a quite simple, I don't want to say trick-taking game because it's not that, but you
because
trying
it's
to...
not also not a worker placement game?
Yes, it's not many things, but it is a game in a very small box. It's very small.
And it's also only a deck of cards. So how does it fit on your list?
No, yeah. Well, you're trying to have as few points in your hand as possible?
Or as many points.
Or as many points, yeah. That is what I was trying to say.
We've been watching too much disc golf, like getting few points.
It's the best. And so you draw cards and then you decide which one you want to play. And well, it's hard to explain the rules in this game.
Basically, it's super simple. You are drawing cards.
Yes.
You can either draw from the discard pile or from the top of the deck. And then if you have like a double card, some of them you can play, some cards are in your hand. So basically you don't know exactly how many points people have. And then you can basically stop the round. And if you like stop it, like you challenge it, then everybody else gets another round. And if they still have fewer points than you after everybody shows their hand, then you win and you get some bonus points. But if they had more points, then you get less points.
Thank you, that is exactly what I meant to say.
Stop the round and then everybody scores the points that they did. So it's like, and then it's a race to I think 40 points, and then the player who gets that first is the winner.
Yes. Thank you.
It's a very good game. My number 10 is also not a trick-taking game.
Okay, cool.
I would also not call it a worker placement game or a...
but what is it?
It is.
I have to guess now.
It's a small box game.
What can it be?
It's tiny and it's green.
It's tiny and green?
Yes.
What?
And it's not by Friedman Freeze.
Yeah, that is what I was thinking.
By Rona Knizia. It's High Society.
Yeah, nice.
It's one of those super simple auction bidding games that you want to win the most stuff, but you don't want to spend the most money because then you're going to be out of the game. I think it's great fun. You don't like it because you don't like any of these kind of games.
But it is a great game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of more, it's deeper than you think. Like, if you play with people who don't kind of understand it, somebody is probably going to, like, spend all their money and you'll be like, I can spend whatever I need now because you're out of the game, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's a very fun game, one I enjoy quite a bit. And it's a small box, so it fits on this list. It's my number 10.
Yeah, but I'm just ending up not buying anything because I'm not so scared of using any money.
Being like, I have all my money left.
My number 9 is Railroad Inc. And the reason that I chose this game, first of all, it's a small box.
Yes,
it's gonna be a runner.
Be like
It's
gonna be like
but I'm
the
gonna
bottom
say
line.
it either way.
And it's not a trick-taking game.
No, it is not. It is a roll and write game, and you are writing these routes on your board, and you are trying to connect them in the best way possible, and there's also like some goals that you want to race to get. The reason that I chose this is because you can combine boxes and play it with a lot of people, which I think is really nice, and their expansions are really tiny. There are just like 4 dice, and they're adding so much fun to the game, so I think it's a really clever game and super fun.
Yeah, I agree. I like it a lot. I think that it's one of those that, like, we had it and then we killed it and we got the new stuff with all the expansion stuff, and it's one that I actually quite enjoy.
Yeah,
like
I do.
It's one I'm thinking about now. It's a pretty fun game.
Yes.
Like most roll and write games, it's like you're doing your own stuff, but there's some goals and stuff that you want to go for. To win the game, you have to be in it. To win it. My number 9 is what I think is the biggest box on my list, but it's one that it's kind of hard to not have on the list, and it is King Domino.
Yeah, cool.
Which is kind of like, it was stretching my definition of a small box game.
Yeah, because that is too big for me.
Yes.
My games are smaller. I won.
I'm out of the game.
You're out.
Bye. Still not going to do the rest of the list. I'm just going to sit there and cry.
Now I'm going to get in like a substitute.
Yes.
So now Bob is coming in, taking over for you. Okay, let's go.
Yes. You get bored of your own job.
Yes.
It's like, what are we doing this?
I don't know.
Yes, King Domino is kind of the biggest one on this list, but it's still a pretty small box. Like, it's this big. It's not a big game.
Well, it's not that small.
It is.
It's right there. You can see it. It's bigger.
Like it's like this.
No, it's not. It's bigger. It's like that.
No, it's not. It's kind of like this.
Well.
Like a deck of cards. But it's a great game. A domino game where you're a king. You probably played it. We talked about it many times. It's a great game. King Domino Origins was a bit bigger, so I couldn't have it. It's actually
that's too big.
It's larger, but King Domino is like a little square. Yeah. But I like it, and King Domino number 9, biggest game on the small box list.
Okay.
But this is not as big of like a blunder as the Age of Steam.
Yes. If you haven't watched that, go check out our
top 10.
What's it called?
Low complexity,
high depth. My number 9 then is also quite new game for us, and it's Ecosystem Coral Reef, and it's a very small box. I should stop saying that.
Kind of like this.
But it is a very simple and very quick and fun drafting game. This has been, I think, my new go-to drafting game for people that I will not introduce to Seven Wonders quite yet, or I wanted to take less time, for example, or be quicker, but I really like how you're building, you're drafting and building your coral reef, and you want different fish to be near the corals, and want like predators eat the prey, and some other stuff. Well, and it goes up to, I think, 6 players, so that's pretty neat. It's super fun.
It has more different card rules than Seven Wonders, but they're very simple, and you all have all on a play rate. So, and it has that kind of spatial puzzle. Yeah. But I really enjoy it, and it's super
I would say that this has more depth than Seven Wonders. You just have to get my joke. Yeah. So funny. Okay.
That was your number 8, right?
Yes.
Yes. My number 8 then is going to be one of the smallest boxes on this list.
Cool.
And it is a red box with some black on it.
Yes, I think I know what it is. Yeah.
It's Insider.
Yeah.
Insider from Oink Games is kind of like 20 questions, which I think is like a universal thing. 20 questions.
Yeah, I think that is a thing.
It's 20 questions with a trader.
Countries.
So it's going to be like one insider who knows the answer and is trying to not guess it.
Well, you're trying to hint towards that, but you don't want to make it too obvious, because at the end of the round,
they're going to guess who is the insider. That's true.
Who is the insider?
Yeah, it's on my list. I just didn't remember how it worked.
It is great.
It's a very fun game. Recommend it. Party game, and it's so small, and you can play it with anyone. Yay, Insider!
Yay, Insider!
Next game.
My number 7 is a game that is...
It's in a small box.
It's in a small box. Do you want to guess what it is?
Yes!
Yeah.
I don't.
It is basically just a deck of cards. So everything I said at the beginning, just trash that. It's Love Letter. And I have played this so many times that I've gotten quite sick of it, actually. Because I played a lot of Love Letter Batman. When I was studying. But it is a truly great game. I love how simple it is. Every round you are drawing a card and deciding which one you want to keep or kill. Discard. And what you're discarding, you do the ability, if it is one. And you want to be the person at the end of the round that has the highest number, like value, on their card. So, but having those really high card on your hand is very risky. So, very simple game, but super fun. Only complaint is that it's only up to 4 people. And if you want to play with 5, you have to like take turns on not being in the game.
Or you can play a game that's made for 5 people.
Yeah, you can do that.
Great game. I like it. Played it many times. My number 7 is a game that's not old, but it's getting older now. And it's in a small box.
Cool.
And it's getting a new version this year.
Oh.
Oh, do you know what it is?
No.
It has some blue on it and some animals.
Blue and animals?
Yes, it's called Hey, That's My Fish.
Oh, yeah.
There's a new version coming out.
With penguins on it.
With the penguins. Penguins. It's a great game. It's kind of very tactical, abstract game. You can play up to 4 players, but all player counts are really great. This one was the first game I played. I was like, oh, this is kind of like chess, but fun. I never liked chess because you have to the first game I played, which that kind of tactics where you have to really. You try to put yourself in a position that you can then counter all the stuff that other people are trying to do. You are basically moving these penguins around on these ice tiles. And wherever you move from, you're going to take that tile. And it has 1, 2, or 3 fish on it. And you're trying to block other people and trying to make them stand on small islands and then fall into the water. They don't die because they're penguins. They can be in the water and also eat fish. And you're trying to be the penguin that's hoarding the most fish and eating it so you stay alive the longest.
It's a really clever game, and you want to kind of make it so the ice goes apart.
Yes.
I don't know. Divide the ice.
Yes.
And then you want to have a big island of fish all to yourself, but that is really hard to do. It's a very clever game. My number 6 is a game that you have played a lot lately, and that is Similo.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because you have been taking it to work and playing it a lot. But
I played it 9 times in a day.
That is a lot,
It was too much.
Yeah. This is a very simple game in a small box.
Big game in a small package.
Yes. But it's a cooperative game. So one is like the hint giver.
Yes.
And
the others are
the guessers.
Hint takers.
Hint takers. Take a hint. And you have a display of animals, and you have one animal that is the chosen one.
Doesn't have to be animals.
Yeah, it could be anything. No, not anything.
Not
but
literally
there are
anything. There are many decks.
There are many decks. I love that. And the clue giver is giving hints on what of the cards are similar and not similar. That is a very bad description. You get what I mean because you've played it.
That's true.
And you want to guess on the right animal. I'm done.
It's a fantastic game.
Yes.
Highly recommend it. It's one of those that you can teach in a minute and everybody can join in because it's basically one person is that hint giver and the others can be 2 or 6 or 7 people, not 65 people because you're starting to have a problem seeing the cards.
2 or 6 or 7. So
yes.
4 and 5
no
and 3?
way
No
playing it with those. But yeah, it's a very good game, one that I highly recommend for a small box.
Yes.
And you can have I think we have 6 different decks or something.
I think so.
And they are
They're
fun.
good.
My number 6 is the biggest game on this list for me for now. Not biggest in size, but in
the depth.
The most complex and long game.
I'm looking forward to that.
1987 Channel Tunnel.
Cool.
From Looping Games. They have all their games in this. I think they're kind of like this box.
I think it's kind of like this actually.
Kind of this big.
It is. No, I think it's like that.
It's something like that. It doesn't really matter. You can go and check it online
Yes,
instead of us guessing. This is a new game show where we guess the sizes of boxes.
Yay!
But Channel Tunnel is a very neat action selection kind of worker placement game where you have discs in different colors and you're trying to place them and also take in discs so you're going to do more actions. And you're trying to basically, it's a 2-player only game where you try to be the first to build the channel tunnel between France and England and get the most victory points. It's a very fun game, one I enjoy, and it has a small box.
Cool. My number.
Do you like it?
Yes, my number 5.
You didn't want to talk about it at all.
Yes.
You're just like, do you like it?
Just
yes.
on to the next one.
Yes.
I like it though. My number 5 is our first crossover for this list, and it is 1987 Channel Tunnel. So that is why I didn't want to talk about it.
Dun, dun.
Go a little crossover dance.
Perfect dress.
It was almost fun. No, I love that.
Perfect dance.
I love that game.
Why are you stopping me in the middle of the crossover song?
Yeah, sorry. Continue.
Crossover, pardon.
Okay. I love that game. I love because that is talking about a lot of depth in a small box because it's actually so crunchy, and I really like the stacks of the discs and the really clever worker placement. So yeah, cool game.
My number 5 is a game that's very short.
Okay.
Like super short, like under 10 minutes usually, maybe 12.
Is it Similo?
It's not.
Okay.
It's a game called Aqualin.
Yeah.
2-player abstract game where you place animals, like sea animals, on little grid, and you're trying to move them around, block the other players, make the biggest groups of the same animal, and I don't know if there's animals under the sea.
I think also there's a two-player only game.
It is?
Yeah.
I think I said so as well. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, you said players, so I was just...
It was maybe 45 seconds ago, so I don't remember anymore.
No.
But Aqualin is one that is fun. It's actually one we did a playthrough of. I don't know why, because like a 10-minute game. It was a weird one to do a playthrough of. But we did one quite a long time ago, so you can go check that out. It's a fun one that I enjoy, obviously. And it might be the same box size as King Domino.
Yeah, it's the same as
the
Patchwork.
Cosmos 2-player.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that's
not on my list
no,
because it's too big.
Maybe I did this list badly.
But it's a really good game. I wanted to check that out because it's so solid.
Good game.
Yes, it's
Next
a good
up
game.
is another one.
My number 4 is The Crew. And you can choose between Mission Deep Sea or the first one.
Can you really?
Yeah, you can.
Would you recommend anyone to play Mission Deep Sea after... No, I mean Search for Planet 9 after Mission Deep Sea exists?
Well, I will not say stay away from it because it's a very solid game.
Yes.
But Mission Deep Sea is absolutely the superior one.
Yes.
And this is a cooperative trick-taking game where you want certain people to take certain tricks, and you kind of want to hint to what will happen if people are playing not in a clever way.
By saying, don't do that.
Don't do that, but you
can't
communicate. Plot twist.
Great.
But this is a game that is so important not to give up when you think that, oh, now it's done, and you see 3 turns later that, oh, we can do it either way. It's very, very fun game, and it has a great story.
It has.
No.
It hasn't.
Not.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's not. And it's you.
It's me. My number, what? 4.
My number what?
My number 4 is going to be Aeon Trespass Odyssey.
Yeah.
The smallest box we own.
Box there is.
Back to you. No, my number 4 is going to be a smaller game than that. It's going to be For Sale. Yeah. For Sale is one of those, I think we spoke about it quite recently. It's one of those games that is just super duper fun. One that I hadn't played it. I played it first time, I think two years ago, and I was like, wow, this is great. You actually played it before me, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a new copy of the new version, and we played it. And as I just said, I was impressed, and I really like it. Bidding game, 2 rounds. You're bidding first on getting these different properties, and then you're trying to get the most from your properties in the second part of the round. Kind of remind me of Biblios in some ways, but I like this one a lot more.
Yeah, it's a great game. Absolutely fits the theme of the small box perfectly.
Theme of the small, and you actually like this one, doesn't
Yeah,
you?
I really like it.
Because even though it's an auction game.
Yeah, it is so fast, so I get over with it so quickly.
No,
well,
but
it is actually
it,
genuinely, I enjoy myself while I play it.
That is a good thing.
And my number 3 is a 2-player, I want to say war game, but it's not. It's Air, Land and Sea Critters at War. It's one of those games that I thought, I will not like this game because I'm not that fan of the head-to-head combat. It's not a combat, but it's a really like, either you win or you lose. It's very like, it's no points kind of, it's just like, boom.
Black and white.
Yes, but what I really thought was cool is when you think that, okay, maybe I will not stand a chance now, you can like surrender and your opponent doesn't win that much, which you can really be like, okay, but do I want to go all in this fight, or do I think that I'm not going to have a chance? And you're also trying to bluff your opponent to think that they will have a chance, so they not bail out and give you less points.
Yeah.
Super, super cool game. Only card driven, trying to have the majority in these Air, Land and Sea areas. Check it out.
Yes, there's a couple of games I missed when I made this list. That was one of them.
That is one of
It's a very, very good
so
game.
good.
My number 3 is another one of the more deeper games on this list.
Oh.
And it is Shadows in Kyoto.
Cool.
It's actually been very long since we played that game.
Yes.
And I
So
got a
long.
copy of the game before, like when you lived somewhere else and studied. And I played it, but there was a mistake in the game. So it wasn't really possible to play it more than once, because if you knew like it's a hidden, you have all your characters and they're hidden, and one of them was different. So when the other player knew, oh, that's a one, they basically had, you would win the game. So it's kind of like a game you're trying to get information to your place, and you're trying to like, what's it called again? You're like pressing the other people and like challenging them. That's the word I was looking for. You're challenging the other ones, trying to have like a higher number and trying to remember and trying to kick them out, moving in different ways, having special powers. A really nice game. Now I have a new copy and we can actually play it.
Yes.
And I think we did play it for Keep or Call.
Yeah, we did, and it's a great game, so we kept it.
Yeah, so it was my number 3.
My number 2 is another Oink game. It's not the same as you. I'm choosing Scout for my tiny box from Oink Games, but just a shout out to Oink in general, because they have so many cool games. I wrote some down for you. Insider, you have heard about that already. I really like In a Grove, that is also cool. And Town 66, I played that one in Spiel as well.
Did I play that?
Town 66? No, you weren't at Spiel.
Oh,
so
it was the last Spiel. Yes. And also they have that cat game.
Oh, the cat game.
Where you have like a thing on your arm.
What is it called?
With your phone, and you're trying to grab things, but you can't do it fast enough. But too fast, because then you're gonna go out of the game and nobody can win over me in that game.
It's a stupid game,
but
it's
super
so
good.
And the hip hop, the sound.
Hey yo, I think it's called. That one was really great. And also, Oink is very good at having very expensive games in all the small boxes.
Yes, very expensive, but they're great though. But my favorite of theirs is Scout.
Yes,
which is a card game.
It is.
Like kind of, you wanted to play the cards simultaneously. No, the same, like a set of the same card, or like in a in a row, kind of. But it's like Bonanza, so you can't shuffle around on your hand. You have to play it from your hand as it is. So you want to like, okay, if I remove that card, now I can play these two together, and you have to play higher than what's on the table. It's super cool.
It's a great game. I enjoy it.
Yes.
I have a number 2 as well.
You do?
Do you want to know it?
Yes.
It is Hanami Koji.
Cool.
It's a fun game. It's another one that is great. It's kind of from the same place than Kyoto Shadows.
Yes.
It's kind of like it's an I split you choose game where you also try to gather these different areas, not gather, but win these different areas. Kind of reminds me of Schottentotten, which I also forgot kind of on this list, because that's another one that is fantastic in a small box. There's so many good small box games.
So many great.
But yeah, Hanami Koji, one that I remember back in the days, Sam Healy talking about it all the time, and I got it, and I liked it, and it's a fantastic game.
And we played it.
We
and
did.
Now
I read the rules as well.
Now we're talking about it.
Yes. You have another game?
It's great.
It's your
My
last
number
one.
we have had so few crossovers.
We have.
It's only one. There's so
far.
many great games. My number one is Arboretum. I feel like this is on top of very many of my lists because it's so great.
It's about trees.
It is about trees, and it is
being
a small
mean.
box. It is not the smallest box. I kind of wanted to make like bigger box at the bottom of the list, and then smaller and smaller and smaller.
And those are not a big box.
Yeah, it's a small box. But
What about...
you're making an arboretum, and you want to have a lot of things on the table, because then you score points, but you only get to score points if you have the majority of it on your hand as well.
Yes.
So it's the balance of playing
That
and
is true.
keeping and hindering others from getting points.
Fantastic game. My number one is Arboretum, which might not be a shock to anybody, but we're gonna do the fantastic, perfect crossover. Da la 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 la, hey, crossover dance, it's crossover time. Arboretum is the winner, and we're here again. It's the end of the video that you're watching now because Arboretum won, and that's the show. Yes, that's the show. That's the end. As the song said, and that is the end of this video.
Yes.
It was games. We did not have many crossovers.
No, surprisingly few.
We usually do.
We do have
it was
crossovers
fun.
most of the
More
time.
games for you to check out and spend your money on, so you have no money left for food.
Do you have any games that are your go-to small box games? What have we missed? Please don't tell us. We don't need more games.
Let us know in the comments. Do not talk to your screen because we can't hear it because this is not live. We could probably not hear it if it was live either. But yeah, that's the end of this video. If you enjoy what we do here on the channel and you haven't done so yet, you can help us out in a big way, which is small for you and big for us, which is giving us a victory point.
And you give us victory points by clicking that subscribe button, and you can also click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video.
Yes, and that is the end of this video that you've been watching here on Board Gaming Ramblings. I'm Johannes.
I'm Senna.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.